Canada's doing okay. I think in a larger sense, I mean, as an industry, the movie industry is just very interesting. I mean, all the industries, anyone who tells you that this is where it's going doesn't know what they're talking about.
Thanks for joining us, TPL Media. And by the way, we might be there locally in your hometown. Go to tplmedia.ca/local, and you'll find us in Brandon and Regina and Sault Ste. Marie and Montreal and Ottawa. We're coming to your town too. And that means that we might even be there in person. Stay with us and subscribe to our newsletter on our website at tplmedia.ca. Don't forget, you can even support the network. It wouldn't hurt one little bit, and we would certainly appreciate it. All right, let's get on with what's happening today. An opportunity I have once in a while to sit down with Joel Stewart to talk a little bit about film in Canada, among other things. Joel Stewart joins us. Thanks so much, buddy.
Well, I am the least qualified person you could have rounded up from the streets of Toronto.
I want to see
to be here.
Let me test you on that, Joel, because let's see. Network television producer, correct?
Yes, for many years.
Stage performing rock star still.
Yes.
Recent movie in theaters.
Actually, the more you bring this up, the more you're right.
Yeah, I hate to be your promo guy, but you're perfectly qualified for this, and I do appreciate you taking the time.
Oh.
Here we are in the throes of summer, and coast to coast in Canada, that means something from a production standpoint, generally speaking. It means we're usually pretty busy.
Yep.
What do you feel's going on out there now? How's your gauge on how busy the studios, the producers, the tech teams are doing out there?
You know what? I think the tech teams are doing great. There is still we're known for having great crews in very interesting places. Not just Toronto and Vancouver, but Winnipeg has become a film hub.
Okay. ...
All those great Bob Odenkirk movies, the Nobody movies, they filmed there.
Right.
The new Little House on the Prairie that is coming out on Netflix, which is set in California, is filming in Winnipeg. But Winnipeg really rallied around, the government said, hey, we have to turn this into something. And then they created a tax credit environment that attracted American producers. So in addition to the exchange rate and all those incentives that were there, but what happened was back a bunch of years ago, when the opposite was happening in Alberta, a bunch of the Alberta people moved to Winnipeg and made that their home. And if I'm talking about grips and gaffers and technicians.
And so now there's this hub.
There is a scene there.
I mean, they should maybe change it to Hub Manitoba, because it's now a hub for, in many ways, for all of the logistics that go on in many parts of Canada.
Yes.
It's a huge hub. There's a lot of space there for studios, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And then you've got dramatic seasons there.
And you have the incredible buildings in Winnipeg proper. It often doubles for Chicago or New York and all that kind of stuff as well. So they've so as far as crews go, crews are working. I think crews are thriving here in Canada. There was an article in Variety today. What is today? June 16th. But again, it was about the people escaping the scene in LA. Too expensive to shoot in LA. There's the entertainment capital of the world, Los Angeles.
Where else are they going, do you think? Because I've heard this. I've heard Texas is a big one now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Georgia is massive.
Right.
Everything's happening in Georgia. Massachusetts. Say it 5 times fast, Joel.
I can't say it even once. Every time I say it, I offend somebody.
I was reading this thing and somebody said, well, the tax credits are better here than they are in California, and So,
what is that? Let's talk about that for a minute, because I think I've participated in tax credits a couple of times in my life with various television shows. But let's explain to people how that operates, because I think that there's a misconception that a huge amount of money from our government is put into film, when really what it is in many cases, and this kind of production, many cases, it's just a tax relief. It's just a tax arrangement that makes the budget go further.
I don't know if that's true. I think there is cash involved.
No, you get the cash.
Yeah, you get cash.
But I don't think that comes from the federal government. So essentially what happens is it offsets the cost of production based on where you...
Yes.
Okay.
So in Manitoba, for instance... I don't know why I'm bringing up Manitoba all the time.
No, but what are you, the king of Manitoba? Exactly. I didn't know this.
But as an example, just because it's recent in my head, I believe it's 30% of all of the labor costs you would have would be subsidized by the tax credit.
And Northern Ontario has a similar.
They have, yes, people may not know. You get a tax credit in Ontario just for doing something in Ontario.
Okay.
If you go to Northern Ontario, which is why a lot of things are filmed in Sudbury,
Okay.
Sudbury, wow.
Film capital of Canada. Who knew?
Film capital of Canada. There's a Northern Ontario tax threshold. So if you were able to move your production out there, you get a bump to the existing Ontario tax credit. And, you think about it, this is significant. These are significant dollars because, let's go there and we'll get a tax credit. Well, to go there, you have to kind of go there. A bunch of people have to be in hotels.
You need to have the crews. You need a localized crew, which I think is hopefully the net result of this, that in for example, Winnipeg, you get a film community and a resource community there that can continue to make films, that continues to be a destination.
No matter who's coming in. I mean, the creative keys will come in. Like, when they made Fargo, in those 5 seasons of Fargo in Calgary, a lot of the crew were the same crew, but a lot of the keys, the writers, they were all from Hollywood and stuff, and they would come up and do that sort of thing. So there is a cost to it. But, Canada's doing okay. I think in a larger sense, I mean, as an industry, the movie industry is just very interesting. I mean, all the industries, anyone who tells you that this is where it's going doesn't know what they're talking about because they don't know and nobody knows.
No, it's changed so dramatically, really.
Yeah. But here's the thing that's stressing me out now. As an older guy who made a movie, wants to make another movie, well, there's this great thing happening now. People are flocking to the theaters right now. The young people are flocking to theaters to see Backrooms and Obsession, both of which, Backrooms was based on a fella's web series.
Yeah.
He's in his early 20s. He got a budget and he's making bank now.
Yeah.
And then this movie Obsession, same story. So it being a copycat industry, that every head of every whatever company is like, let's find another 20-year-old.
I can see that. What I think is interesting about that is, while that's truth, cinema is, it's changing. I think I've got tickets upcoming to a symphony, for goodness sake. You can see live events and things like that. And there's a huge ethnic element now to the foreign film showing going, depending on where you are in the country.
Yeah.
A number of theaters are showing Punjabi or other ethnic related to that community. And there's less theaters for just straightaway film. When you add a Backrooms, for example, which, by the way, freaks me out, the whole idea of it freaks me out, and so good for that kid. Alongside those, there needs to be this epic series of movies or epic element of movies, I think, that keeps people within the magic. There has to be genre of film that has impact to people's emotions.
Yep.
And then there has to be these throwaways that are what I like to call viral fascinations in film. And I don't think the industry can survive very long on just viral fascinations.
I think it'll be a fad, I think it'll be a fad for a while, and there'll be somebody who gets a new job at a new place who said, this is what we're going to do. And they will forget about experience and all these sorts of things.
Joe, let me see. How many followers do you have?
Right.
Like, I get it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. When we were just talking before we went to camera about these things that happen now and the way things are done now. And it's like, you don't look for the best actor for the part. You wonder, you have a person going, how many followers do they have on Instagram? And it's like, well, but can they act? It doesn't matter. How many followers do they have on Instagram?
Yeah.
This becomes a thing.
What's their viral pattern online? Are they TikTok or Instagram?
Yes.
Oh, my Lord.
These things matter. These things are discussed and come up in...
How about I'm going to make a fantastic movie and they'll be viral the rest of their lives?
Exactly. When Paul Thomas Anderson won the Golden Globe for One Battle After Another, he said something very specific in his speech, and he pointed to one studio person in the audience and said, that person is responsible for this movie, Weapons, and Sinners. Now, Sinners and One Battle After Another, I think, you could just redo the top 10 greatest movies of all time.
They really did nail it.
And you could make an argument that those movies should be on it.
Those movies made me want to go to theaters again.
Yes, and Marty Supreme as well.
Marty Supreme, another great example of that.
Just a singular...